Hello, everybody.
Back, everybody.
How are you all doing today? How's your day? Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good.
Yes. Alrighty, so today we are going to be doing another BBW topic. And this one I felt was a good one to talk about because we all know us ladies could definitely agree on some of the stuff about high school and about how we were treated and some of the things we've gone through.
Yes. And this also goes out to the young girls who are still in high school that are, full-figured. So hopefully it helps us all. And again, this is just stuff that we've been through, our experiences. We're not saying that everybody has dealt with this. It's just us. So,
yes.
I don't know. I mean, when I went to high school, I first started high school when I was in Queens. And I have to say it really wasn't that bad there. Like, I mean, not saying if I didn't finish it out it couldn't have been, but from where I started, it wasn't really that bad there. And then my parents moved to Long Island, and I had to relocate. The first problem I did have was that I was leaving my friends behind. That I was leaving to go from Queens to Long Island, which, I mean, it's not that far, but, when you're a kid and everything, you don't drive, so you can't see your friends, you can't hang out with them and all that stuff, so that was a big deal to me. It was a big deal that I wasn't with my friends. But let's get on to the topic. When I first started the high school I was in, I have to say it wasn't that bad. I walked in, of course I was nervous as hell because I'm new, and plus it's the truth, when you're a full-figured female, you have a little bit more of anxiety in you because you already know that you're going to get, judged and possibly made fun of, so you always have to have that in the back of your head. So I was already nervous to be in a brand new school and all that stuff, but I have to say in the beginning it wasn't that bad. I walked in, whatever, and this guy, randomly, as soon as he came in, he was like, oh, hey, what's up, da-da-da, put his arm around me, was showing me around, whatever. I'm like, okay, I didn't really picture that to happen. That was, the last thing on my brain, But then I have to say, I would say maybe the first year wasn't that bad. Well, I don't know. Well, however it was, but it wasn't that bad in the beginning, and then it started getting to be that the kids started getting to know me, and I started getting to know the kids, and we had the lovely jocks in my high school.
Which every high school has jocks,
yeah.
so.
But it depends on, I guess it really depends. I know every high school has jocks, but it depends how your jocks are in your high school. My high school that I was at was absolutely horrendous. The guidance counselor and everybody that I went to go talk to, nobody really helped me. The assistant principal, the main principal where I was, I have to say, really, thumbs down, he was the worst. But my assistant principal helped me. One guidance counselor, the guidance counselor that was the head of the sports, I talked to him also on purpose because I wanted to let him know what I was getting put through by the kids he was, working with. He did nothing. He acted all sweet to me, oh, I understand. Did nothing, I got bullied. I got bullied by females too. It wasn't just guys. It was the in crowd, the cheerleaders, the cheerleaders' friends, whatever. They had stuff to say about me, and I wasn't the only one. There were a few girls that I became friends with that were on the full-figured side too, so I wasn't the only one in the whole school that they bullied, They bullied, it was girls and guys. It was more guys than girls, where the girls would sit there and laugh. The girls would be all cute and with that little giggle, but then you'd hear them say, stop, you're being mean. Where the guys were just laughing and high-fiving each other because I guess they thought they were cool, But they still did it too. I'll be honest, when I was first new there, and I still didn't know many people, I was more hesitant, and I was oh, I can't say nothing. I can't. I would talk to like I said, the assistant principal, the guidance counselors, but I never really fought back right away, you know, because I'm like, oh, I'm new here, and what if I fight back, and, you know, who's going to have my back, and nobody really, but then as I started to make friends, and, you know, we were cool, and I seen that, then I started feeling like, in my head, like, kind of like, screw you, like, just because you're on the fucking football team or the basketball team doesn't mean that you can sit there and call me names, you know, like, so I literally fought back, like, not like, aggressively with hands, but my mouth. I really did fight back with my mouth a lot. And oh my god, like, we had this part, it was like a kind of like a hallway, and you walk down it, and that's where they hung out, and it was close to the lunchroom, and you know, every time, even
yeah, they called it a rotunda.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say because I didn't know how many schools have a rotunda, so I don't want people pinpointing this horrible
rotunda.
School.
Oh, that's cool.
But you had to walk through it to go to the lunchroom, even to get to a different hallway, and you know, you're walking through, and then I'll be honest, again, if anybody's watching that hears this chant and knows what school I'm from, then hands up to you. I would walk with my friends. And if we were, especially, they did it to us a lot, but especially when we were entering the lunchroom, because we're big, oh my god, fat girls are eating. And, you know, they'd go, da-dun, da-dun, and then they all yell, fat, you know. And I'm like, at first I'd hear, again, when I was new, I'd hear it and I'd be more like, oh my god, I'd be looking around all embarrassed. Like, after a while, I didn't look around with an embarrassed look. I looked right at the motherfuckers who said it, gave them direct eye contact, and would say shit to them. I didn't care, you know. I would let them have it, and not a lot. There was a few of those. Not matrons, like the monitors or the aides.
Yeah, like the lunch monitors.
Yeah, they would be sitting there, and most of them would be like, no, really, seriously, stop it. Then you had the few, one we called Nethead, because she stuck up for them all the way. I don't know if it's that she knew them, or I don't know what it was, but this fucking lady stuck up for the jocks, like, oh no, you need to watch your mouth, or you're going to go to the principal. I'm like, I really don't give a fuck, because they're going to sit here and torture me, and I can't fight back, you're saying, you know? So, there was one time that I got so mad, and I was in the hallway, and it was like the first reaction I could do, and I had a Snapple bottle, which was glass, which I know was wrong. I could have really hurt somebody, but I just, like, got so mad, and I just, like, threw it, and I let go, and it like, cracked on the floor, and then the guys, like, were like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, would you just shut up? I go, that's what you make somebody do, like, you're bullying me to the effect where I don't know what else to do anymore, you know, like, I fought with them back. I fought my battle. I didn't just sit there and not say nothing or cry and let them show them that they were winning. A lot of people were like, oh, by fighting back, you're showing them that you're winning, that they're winning. I'm like, not really. But to me, the person that sits there quietly and looks down like this, or has tears streaming down their face, that shows them that they're winning. When you open up your mouth and fight back, I feel that it's showing them that you're standing up for yourself, like, you know, and it was an ongoing thing. It was such an ongoing thing that I literally had to change schools, like, not directly out of the town and district I was in. But I had to switch schools. Like, I had to go to this other school. I'm not going to name it, but it was for kids that had problems. All sorts of problems.
Like, it was, like, mental, like, other issues, but it wasn't like she had a mental issue. It was just because of the fact that she was getting bullied so much that...
Yeah, so they had to put me... Again, it was in the same town and district. It wasn't like I was far away from people. I went to this... At first, when I heard about the school, I didn't want to go, because I heard that it was classified for kids that had, like, mental and emotional problems and this, that, and I'm thinking of the kids I'm going to be with, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, not to be mean, in my head, I was like, you're going to put me with a whole bunch of freaking, like, asshole kids, you know, like, and I'm going to have a worse time here, and they were like, no, the teachers are so much nicer, it's a smaller building, and I'm like, oh, God, you know, and then the one, I figured who it was, I don't know if it was the main principal or another assistant principal, said some remark and said, like, oh, well, you're emotionally disturbed to me because the way I would, like, yell. And I said, no, it's not that I'm emotionally disturbed. I said, I'm getting bullied. I'm getting called fat, ugly, bitch, you know, whatever you want to say, like, you know, whatever you want to call me, and then making the noise like when you walk, like boom, boom, you know, how does that make you feel, especially when you're in front of 30 kids that are laughing at you and you're just trying to... So I was like, no, I'm not emotionally disturbed. And he was like, well, from what we hear, I go, well, then you're fucking wrong. Like, and I told them, I think it was the principal, and I told him, I was like, you fucking suck as a principal. And then my dad heard that and was like, oh my God, now you're going to blow your chances of being in this school. I'm like, not really, because he really did. He didn't do anything. Long story short, I got into that school in the beginning there too. I was a little bit nervous, and also knowing I was with a whole bunch of emotionally and, you know, disturbed and whatever else. And I have to say, it was way shorter. Like, it had to be like a week later. I was like loving it. And then another girl that was like me, full figured, also came to go to this school because she felt that it would help her. Now, let me tell you something really quick. Wow, it's already 11 minutes I've been talking. Wow. Yep. This is going to be another long topic, guys. Sorry.
Let's hope that this one doesn't get deleted too, like our other video.
So, really quick, I was in regular high school, and I was cutting school. I was with the wrong crowd, A, but B, I was cutting because I didn't want to be dealing with that. Like, why should I have to be in a school that I'm getting tortured and bullied, you know? I was cutting, I was not doing what I was supposed to, and failing my test, and I was literally, like, getting horrible grades. I went to this other school, and the first time, like, you know, like when you get the 4 periods, the first time I got my grades, I was getting, like, science and English, I was getting 80s and 90s, and what was I getting? That I was an honor roll. I literally got an honor roll, because we were considered the real high school, just in a different school, but we were still considered, so I was getting honor roll, and my grandmother, because my mom, I'm trying to think, was mom... Did mom? Yeah, my mom passed away when I was in high school, right? I figured how. I'm just thinking, but my grandmother was even just like, oh my God, Teresa, how are you improving so much? And I said, it's the school difference. Like, this school you go into, you don't get called fat, this, that, the other. They don't allow it. Like, you know, and you literally just had to get to know the kids you went to school with for who they were. And I was going from 50s and 60s and no grades and absences to 80s, 90s, and honor roll, you know. So it goes to show you that bullying could lead to a lot of things. It leads to failing in school, it leads to death, it leads to, you know, like, it leads to so much. It could lead to kids doing drugs. Like, I never did drugs in my life, never have, never will. But I'm just saying, a lot of things bullying can lead to, especially when you get bullied and you're younger and it's more pressure on you. But that's my experience, and Carrie could say some of hers.
Yeah. High school, like, 9th to 10th grade was iffy, because I really didn't like it, because I went to the same school she did for the first 2 years, and so we moved to a different town, and so when I was in 9th to 10th grade, it was like I said, I didn't want to be there, because it was true. I mean, I had friends and everything, but with the police and who would have to make comments, and who when you had to go to lunch, people had to stare at you, because if you got like fries and this, you'd be like, oh my God, look at her, she's getting this, and I'm like, what does it matter what I eat, and then you're eating the same thing. But anyway, yeah, same thing with me, where, like I said, it was just, like I said, I went because I had to go, but I did have a lot of absences. I was failing because I really just wasn't happy, you know. And then when I moved in 11th grade and I did my junior and senior year in a different school, I was doing better. I did have absences here and there because of whatever, but I was doing a lot better, and the teachers there actually were understanding. They were cool. They didn't sit there and let people make fun of you. Like, if you had a problem, you could go to the guidance counselor, talk to them, and they actually solved it. They said, no, Rick, we're going to call those kids. We're going to have a discussion because they shouldn't be talking to you like that. I go, well, thank you. But living. But the other town I lived in, they never did that. Like, if we ever said we had a problem, they just looked at you and was like, oh, well, we'll let the principal know and everything. And they never did anything. Like I said, but the other school, like where I finished out high school, I actually went there if I had a problem. I just told them. I said, well, this person has been bothering me. They've been, getting on my case about this. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna flatten that out and everything. And I think it just depends on where you go to school, how the people handle it, how the teachers go about it. And if they actually care, then they'll do something about it. At some schools, some teachers don't care. They're just like, well, deal with it, deal with it on your own. And I go, yeah, it's not that easy. Like, you're trying as hard as you can to deal with it. And
even some of the principals, like, it depends the type of the crew you got together. Some principals you could go to, and you could literally pull your heart out, and he'll do what he has to do, and he wants to see all his students be okay. Then you have some principals that literally, they have their favorites. Like in the school I was at, his favorites were the jocks. So when I poured my heart out to him about that, he looked at me and was like, oh, I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. I'll do what I can. But you could tell nothing was done. You could tell nothing was done because these guys always did it. Like, it's not like they ever stopped. It's not like anybody ever came up to me and was like, why'd you have to go to the principal? Like, none of them showed that they got in trouble or anything. So you could tell that he really didn't give a flying fuck about the other kids. He cared about his jocks and cheerleaders, which half of them now, I mean, I'm not trying to say that, but half of them now probably, who knows, probably doing drugs and whatever. But, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it just... And then, I mean, not even just with the jocks and everything. You get the people that you get the bullies. You get the bullies who have to bully you because you're, in their eyes, fat. Oh my God. Like, you could have pretty clothes, pretty face, you could have everything pretty about you, a girl, and you'll still have somebody hating on you just because of your weight, which to me is the stupidest thing, because that shouldn't matter, but that's how certain people are. That's
how kids were back in the day. Like, they didn't care.
Still to this day.
Oh, because if you're overweight, and oh my God, and they just have to make fun of you. They have to look at you as you're sitting. Like, I remember in 8th grade, it's not high school, but it's an experience, but I was sitting in Spanish and everything, and I had to have these two idiots behind me, like, and I hear them laughing, and I'm like looking, I go, what are you laughing at? And they're like, oh, nothing. I go, oh, okay. I'm like, I know you're laughing at me. Like, no. And then, the background, I go, and I hit my fist on the table, and I go, if you don't tell me what you're laughing at, I'm going to go to the teacher and just, I'm going to, like, I was, like, pissed off. And then finally, the guys were like, look at my one friend, Drew. He, like, sketches out the back of the seat, and my ass, like, the way he came out. I mean, so, look at this. And I look, and I go, and that's funny. Like, that's the whole time that you were laughing at.
I know I giggled just now. I know you guys are going to say, how could you giggle when you're... It's just funny, the fact of... What I was laughing at, honestly, is the fact of what people do, and, like, how they... Like, it's kind of like if I was to do it to somebody, it would be wrong. If I was to go...
If they did it to me, it's A-okay. And I got mad. I went up to my Spanish teacher and I go, you think that this is okay, that these two kids were able to... I'm laughing at it now because I'm like, these two kids were able to get away with that. And then she goes, oh, well, and I go, no, I don't know. I said, I was like, I'm leaving. I just left the class.
And plus, we could laugh about it now. We can, because, again, this is our experience, so we could laugh at ourselves now also, because look how many years later it is. It's just the fact that it's just, it really is a wicked world. Like, like, even now these days, I'm itching so much, people. It's because of this lace. It's, like, for some reason, irritating my skin. But, even these days now, the kids these days, I really thought it was bad for me. I was honestly like, oh my God, but Dad, Mom, whatever, Nana, you don't understand. These days, I think it's a little bit worse, because I'm going to say it, and you could disagree, you could agree. A lot of the parents these days had kids younger, like back in the day when I was growing up, my parents were, to me, to what other people say, the normal age to have kids. When I was a kid, my parents were in their 30s, but nowadays the kids growing up, their parents are teens or 20s that like, I'm trying to say that had sex and had young kids, so they're not getting the I'm not saying all kids. There are kids that get have young parents that are fine, but I'm saying, like, who doesn't have a father, or what girl didn't want to be a mother and left it with the father, or what both of them didn't want to and had, it's just the grandparents. And it's just the fact that a lot of these kids now have young parents, and I think that they were too young to have kids, so they didn't properly, like, raise them right, and that's why they are the way they are. Like we were saying in another video, the way girls dress, the way boys act. You know, how many kids are having sex too early, and, you know, babies having babies. Like, it's just like, and it's just getting worse. Like, how many kids do you see these days that are teens and still in high school, possibly junior high school, middle, and they just mouth off to an adult? Like, they mouth, if it's somebody like 30, 40, 50 and above, you'll see a teen just look at you and be like, what are you looking at? F this, F that, da da. And it's just like, me, growing up, I never did that. I never just got mad and just mouthed off like that, because I always felt like, what if that adult goes home, goes to my house, tells my mom and dad, or tells my grandmother, I'm going to get in. I always had in the back of my head, I would get in trouble. I would get punished or something. And I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to enjoy being a kid on the weekend. And, you know, these kids these days, it's like, they mouth off, they do what they want, they wear what they want, they have sex when they want, they're walking around.
They all get things at such early age. Just like, how the kids are like 10 years old having iPhones.
Yeah, like
I didn't get a cell phone, I think, till I was like 15. Because my dad, like, finally went on a plan and said, oh, I was like, oh, I'm actually getting a cell phone. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
But, you know, these days, kids are like 9 or 10 getting iPhones. Another big thing is social media.
Yes. Like
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, that's a big problem, because people write things on Facebook, they tag you in embarrassing pictures. Like, it's true. Like, they make movies about it now, but in the end, they're right, because that's how some of these kids die. They
run away.
They run away.
And then you don't ever see them again.
You know, whatever it is that they do, just because they can't take the pressure of some people telling their secrets. Like, oh, like, I told my friend in confidence this, and she aired that on Facebook. Like, it's not necessary, but it happens, and it's not right. That's
why they always say stuff is better left unsaid. Like, if you know something that you think might ruin your life, it's better to not tell nobody. Even if you feel like, oh, but I have a best friend that I've been best friends with since kindergarten, and me and her are inseparable. Doesn't matter. Things are better left unsaid. If you know something that you possibly could ruin your life, just leave it to yourself.
Yeah, don't tell people, because the more you say, the more people could have to...
The worse it is for you.
Yeah, like if you get into a fight with that person, they could easily embarrass you. They could, like, ruin your life in 2 seconds, because they don't care. They want to get back at you.
Yeah, and being a heavier person is a lot. It is more, as you get older, it's not as difficult, because it's more like your own life and you can do what you want. But when you're a little kid, or when you're in high school, it's a lot harder, because you have to have the pressure and the stuff from the kids, and it's just not fun. So we know anybody out there that's young and is in high school and overweight, whether you're a boy or a girl, but we know what you're going through. We've been through it. It wasn't fun.
We definitely sympathize.
Yes, it wasn't fun. We didn't like it. It's not right, so don't think that anybody, like, that all the people that are doing this are right. They're the ones wrong. You're not wrong. And
there are places you could get help. You know, reach out to someone, whoever it may be. There is people that are out there that are willing to listen to you.
Yes.
So don't hesitate to go to your mother, your father, anybody in your family, and just vent to them. Just say, I'm really going through a tough time at school. You have to tell someone, because if you don't say anything, no one's going to know. And you have to tell your parents or whoever it is that you're living with, because...
And then if you bottle it up, honestly, you're just going to explode, and you don't know what the exploding means.
Like, you could just drive yourself insane and do something bad.
You could explode and do something bad to someone else, do something bad to yourself, and you don't want it to get that far. So it's better to express it. And there might be, hey, if you feel like you can't talk to your mom or dad, certain kids don't feel confident, there might be a teacher you have that's your favorite teacher, that you know that she loves you as a student or he loves you. Go up to that teacher. Hey, Mr. this, Mrs. that, I know that, you know, that we seem to click, whatever. I really need your opinion on this. There's the, you know, doesn't matter. Sister, brother, mother, father, teacher, anybody. You know, somebody that you know will reach out and help you. And that's what you have to do. You don't, and plus, don't let it get to you. I know we're saying it now, we're older, but don't let it get to you so bad that it ruins your life, because you have your life ahead of you. You really do. You have, if you're in high school now, you have college, you know, you work, don't let it get to you that it destroys your life or destroys you, because you're a beautiful person, and don't let the assholes get to you.
Don't let the negativity destroy you. We know it's hard. Trust me, we know it's hard, because even though you're an adult, you still go through those little phases where people could do and say stuff to you
we still go through it now.
Yeah, like, you know, that you kind of feel down in the dumps. You're kind of like, you know, you have those days, but just know that you're a good person, you have a good heart, and pretty much screw those people. Screw the people that have ever done anything wrong to, because they're the ones paying now. Mm-hmm. Like they say, karma's a bitch. Well, it happens to people. Like,
with the issue with us now is, I might be 36, you might be 26, but there are still people that look at us and say things, and it doesn't matter how old you are, it's never going to end, but just don't let it destroy you. So, before this thing, because again,
like 30 minutes long, which is close there,
because we can go on forever, but before that, we just want to let you guys know, whether you're older now and out of high school and dealt with this, we're here for you. Whether you're in high school right now, we're here for you. No matter what it is, if you're a bigger person and you need somebody, even us, you want to do that, we'll help you out
like
too.
Like I said, if you ever want to vent to us, like I said, the email, everything will be in the description.
Yes.
We're here. We'll definitely help you. We'll try to give you the best bit of advice we can.
Yep. So, again, we'll end here. Hopefully this helps some people and made you feel a little bit better, that it's not just you, it's everybody out there. Like, subscribe, share, comment,
favorite, thumbs up.
Yes. And again, no negativity. If it is negative, it will be deleted and ignored, so don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. Only positivity. We only stress happiness and positive thoughts, because the world is a crazy place and we don't want none of that.
Yes.
So we love you guys. We'll be back. We'll be back with another video.
Yes.
And enjoy your day.
Bye-bye.